All right, so Esper Party Bus. For those that have never experienced the Party Bus before, this is one of the many sweet standard decks you can find on the standard decks page on my website, magicesports.net. Hey, Hats, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Anywho, the Party Bus that this deck is named after is Lumbering Battlement. Here, when this enters play, we exile any number of other creatures we control, and then until this leaves the battlefield, and it gets bigger for every card underneath it. So we combine this with cards that have enter the battlefield effects like Elite Guardmage, Bell-Haunt, Hostage Taker, Tomebound Lich, Fblthp, and most importantly at our top end here, Agent of Treachery, to get their effects over and over and over again. This isn't just a mid-range value deck though. This deck has a combo in it. When you get 3 battlements together, or 1 battlement and 2 hostage takers, or 2 battlements and 1 hostage taker, you get to produce an unlimited number of enter the battlefield triggers while your creatures enter and leave play over and over and over again. This allows us to draw lots of cards, gain lots of life, or in the case of Agent of Treachery here out of M20, gain control of every permanent our opponent has in play, which is just a grand old time. We also have 4 copies of Blood for Bones here, which allows us to cheat Agent of Treachery into play a little bit sooner, or recover combo pieces that have been countered, killed, or discarded to get that combo back and reassembled. Do 4 Blood for Bones? Yeah, I think 4 Blood for Bones is good. I've got enough sacrifice. Yeah, let's try 4 again. 4 Blood for Bones might be a touch too many in this build. Not 100% on that. Let's play some games and see how it feels. It felt pretty okay last time. Tristani is a little bit rude. So, actually, this is funny. If you are playing this deck against Tristani doesn't trigger till your end step. So what you can do is you can steal their entire board, and then you can end your loop with Tristani under the bus. Yeah, so you steal their whole board, and then when you break the loop, you put their Tristani on the bus ride, and then it doesn't trigger, and you have their entire board still. That's the Galaxy Brain play. Who cares about Tristani, chat? Get out of here. I'm not sure what you're saying, Twin Pete. Oh. Let's stand up for a little bit and sit for a while. Oh. The Party Bus has definitely got the Venega Boys soundtrack on. Just 24/7. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. We'll throw the 7 drop back that we're not interested in just yet. I think the Blue-Red Wizards deck we played the other day felt very reasonable. Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage, so from the graveyard or library. So library in Magic refers to your deck of cards. Your hand is a separate zone. So an example of something Grafdigger's Cage stops would be a card like Blood for Bones, or something like Vivian's Arcbow that's trying to put a creature into play directly from your library. So casting creatures is still completely fine. What are the odds my opponent's Bant deck can interact with this Hostage Taker? Incredibly low. Or green-blue deck. I want to go ahead and grab the Jade Light Ranger here. Try and dig to some land. I can also potentially explore good creatures into my bin for Blood for Bones. Yeah, I believe we went undefeated with Wizards, but yeah, just like Angry Penguin said, the win rate with the given deck does not make it good better otherwise. Yikes! They have Hydras now, chat. This is... I gotta get used to this card being a format staple. I'm not used to that one. Final thoughts on New White Skies seemed very reasonable. Oh, are they missing a land? That's so good for us. Ooh, less good, less good. I think I'm going to 14 here. How do we feel about Blood for Bones, my Fblthp? Take your Incubation Druid, play your Incubation Druid? Or would I rather take Paradise Druid? I'd probably rather take Incubation Druid, right? This grabs non-lands, right? No, it's any permanent, right? Because we take their whole board. So they're short a blue source currently. I might Agent of Treachery one of their blue sources here, honestly. Double it up. Double it up. Rats. Gimme. Gimme, gimme. Don't play a blue source. 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 That's so rude. That's so rude. I think they'd have killed me if they'd have attacked with everything. They'd have forced me into worse blocks. I guess I would have killed Paradise Druid and they'd be further off from this. I think I start with this, see where we go. I think we just keep trying to fade the blue sources. I just grab I tuck Agent of Treachery here, and then next turn we battlement my battlement and get the agent back. The Hydras have trample. My opponent didn't realize that either, though, so you know, got good luck, Godspeed. We're short of mana, right? We're short of mana. And they tapped all their land. We would have had a land anyways, right? If we had a 9th mana there, we would have comboed them. Because we would have been able to put the bus in and then Blood for Bones the hostage taker back. Yeah, sweet. All right, I love when we get to do the thing on the first opportunity. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. All right, so we win. So hostage taker comes into play, grabs the bus. Bus comes into play, grabs hostage taker and agent. Bus comes into play, grabs the bus. These come into play. This grabs the bus. This grabs this. This happens. So now this loop where we grab these and then it comes out and we grab the bus is going to happen again and again and again until every permanent on my opponent's side of the board becomes on our side of the board. Ah, friendly tryhard. Thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. And in paper, you would just explain what's happening to your opponent, and then they'd concede. Or if they don't concede, you get to reach across the board and grab all their stuff. But, you know, your choice, really. Your choice. Cast Down seems really good here. Aether Gust seems fine. Despark seems mediocre because they're mostly on Hydras. Mortify seems good. If I had Stroke, I'd probably bring that in, but I don't have Stroke in this deck. Basilica Bell-Haunt seems exceptionally bad. They have a lot of air in their decks. They have like plenty of extra bad cards that they can be discarding. Long session today, have we eaten? Yeah, I've got a whole counter of snacks behind me, and a fridge and a freezer and a microwave. We did out yoink the yoink deck. That is exactly what just happened. And it felt good. It felt good. All right, let's do this. We have played the commercial a couple of times today. How much for you to update Red White Land Destruction? That'd be fine as a $10 deck donation, Blitz Legend. It's really a fan favorite from last season. It is $10 for subs to add decks to the queue. It's a little slow, but like, my opponent's deck's not particularly fast. He says as his opponent plays turn 3 Nissa. So I can't Erasure till turn 3, but with no elf on 1, they're not playing a big bomb till turn 4, so turn 3 Erasure should be plenty fast. So our next turn will be Erasure plus Temple, most likely. Oh no! Rude. Rude. Alright, well now we're gonna kill this. So that way they draw the Nissa and we can Thought Erasure the Nissa. That's gonna stay there because I'm gonna Tomebound Lich it into the bin and then Blood for Bones it back into play. Hey, Blitz, thanks for doling out some sub-gifties. I assume that's for red-white land destruction? Yeah. That should get it up fairly soon. Thanks for the support. Do I want this erasure? So I don't have an untapped land at the moment. So I can't erasure and Tomebound Lich next turn. And I feel like they're gonna put the Hydra in pretty soon. I'm gonna bottom that for now. If they draw a land here, we might just see them play this as like a 6/7. I'm gonna ditch this for now. This is land number 5. This is land number 6. So we can maybe work up towards casting this the hard way. Hey, Delrethus, thank you for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You might, if this fights this, it's not a good scene because it says Death Touch. Yeah, and I think they realized that after the fact. They were like going to fight it and then realized that's a bad idea. Oh, now I have to shock this to put it in? That's bad. That was loose on my part. I think we're gonna be dead here. No, I wanted to play this because I didn't want them to be able to fight it. Even if I had sequenced my lands right here, I'd still be dead, right? I'd put this into play untapped and like grab this, have a blocker, and like still be dead to their combat, so. Just gonna go ahead and run this back. I think I'm pretty happy with how we boarded. It's not amazing, but it's fine. We'd love to draw our guy that draws and discards. Fblthp will be a fine. Turn 3, that is not a turn 2 Fblthp because Temple. Yikes. So, this is a good giveaway. I'm pretty sure they have Veil of Summer because they're passing priority while they just have one forest up. And, like, that's the only one forest card in this format, right? Where they could be passing priority there. Are there any others people can think of? Incubation's a sorcery. Maybe I'm just supposed to Elite Guardmage there because they're obviously passing with that up. Like just try and hit my line drops for this agent.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Rise, my elemental friend.
So why trade with Jade Light over double blocking the land? That's a good suggestion. Well, oh yeah, because I have 3 toughness, right? So I would still just lose one thing and they lose that. That's better. Yeah, because this is a 2-3 and this is a 1-1, so I could have killed that. And they wouldn't have played this other Paradise Shrew and they'd be down a land. Yeah, that's a better block.
Do not underestimate my fortitude.
Yeah, do I wanna take the forest or the Paradise Druid? It's probably the forest, right? The forest cuts them off of 2 mana. I can't replay the forest myself, but I think that's fine. I should have just double blocked it. If I'd have double blocked it, my opponent would only have 3 lands in play, because it would have died, and then I'd have taken this Paradise Druid with this, and this other one wouldn't be in play because the forest would have died inside of combat. It's a pretty big mistake, really. Watching my opponent playing against all these blue-green Hydra decks really makes me want to play more Feather and Black-Red Aristocrats. Just like, rather than trying to out mid-range these people that are just like playing the greediest decks possible, just like go under them and punish them. Register a bunch of basic mountains and just be like, have a little respect. Respect. Land. Perfect. Am I casting this? I feel like I'm casting this. Am I? Do I want to just cycle this? Nah, I think I'll have time to fit him in later. Yeah, let's do it now. I'm gonna go ahead and trade these out here. This helps them if they drew like Hydroid Crisis, because it gives them technically 1 more mana, because I'm giving them a forest back, even though I killed the Temple Garden, or the Temple of Mystery. So they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana if they want it. So they could Crisis for 10 and draw 5. We get to Agent of Treachery next turn though. If they play a big Crisis, we'll Treachery the Crisis. If they don't play a big Crisis, we'll take the Nissa, obviously. They could have just drawn a big Hydra too. But yeah, the reason to not Nissa pre-combat is because they want to float mana. Afternoon, Neil. It's one of those moments where it's like, are they disconnected? Am I disconnected? Okay, they moused over forest. Well, if they play a giant Crisis, the hostage taker or the Crisis kills the Nissa. I mean, they could have had something real life come up too. They could have a Hydra and or be debating if they want to double or if they want to fight. Because they might want to think, oh, if I have a Hydra, I want to fight, so that way Jeff doesn't have a creature to blood for bones for. And get the hostage taker back. Hey, what's going on, Herbs? Yeah, we're gonna do at least another half hour, 45 minutes with this one. And we'll see how I'm feeling and what the numbers are like, and maybe we'll do one more. Depends. It's been a long time. I'm getting soft. We only did like 6 and 7 hour streams the last couple of weeks. So like pushing up to 10 and 11's been a little bit more of a challenge. I'm gonna take tomorrow off though, for sure. Weird. I wonder if they just had to AFK for some reason. Nah, never attribute malice that which is adequately explained by almost anything else. Good chance that just something came up real life. What would it cost to get red-white land destruction played next? So I can't do red-white land destruction next even for any amount of money, basically, because it just wouldn't be a good experience. I haven't put thought into how I want to update that deck yet with the new set. So, and I definitely don't have the capacity to update it after being live for 9 hours. Monday morning, we're going to be going back to doing a couple of Magic Online leagues to kick things off. So we'll do a couple of Moto leagues to start Monday morning. We'll do a couple of standard decks. And then Monday afternoon, we're going to be joined by special guest MTG Nerd Girl. She's going to help teach me how to draft because we're doing the Twitch Rivals Draft Tournament on Wednesday. I think it'll actually be pretty close to the top of the queue for Monday. The deck queue's been kind of slow with the set release. I think a lot of people are kind of spent on standard. This is the slowest my queue's ever been around release time. How do you do a draft tournament? Is it draft queue only? We're gonna do it over Discord. She lives on the West Coast. I'm in the middle of cornfields. How do you do the draft tournament's really weird. So it's basically comparable to like a home run derby, basically. I said basically a lot there. You have teams of 2 and everybody on all the teams does 3 drafts independently and you compare records between your individual drafts. And whichever team has the best combined record from their 3 drafts wins the thing or goes on to a top 4 cut. What do I want to get rid of here? It's probably greedy to get rid of a land. My curve's kind of high. I'm going to ship the Hostage Taker. Yep, no tournament client. No official tournament client hurts limited way more than it hurts constructed. Yay, block. Oh, you don't want to let old Fibbles block, eh? Oh no, chat. They're gonna kill Fibbles. Yikes. I think I actually take Lightning Strike here. Because I think I want, like, if they play Judith next turn, I can still block this, which is nice. Hey, Mikey. Thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They might just rampage us and then attack for 1 and get their trigger. Does the cat get better? Oh, they've got the special sleeves too. They must have put a bunch of dollar reduce in, huh? That's the only way you can level that quickly. Yeah, there's no way we can win if they've got a level 80 cat. You've spent all the dollar reduce, chat. I would like to block, opponent. Listen, I read a very credible Reddit thread that told me Magic is pay to win. So if my opponent is level 90, I'm pretty sure we don't stand a chance. Because why would Reddit lie to me, chat? Everybody knows you can't post lies on the internet. There's people that check these things. This is my 4-5. Enjoy. They are fully foiled as well. You're so aggressive, chat. I feel like they should attack with this too. Because if I block this, it actually trades with my Lumbering Battlement because they get a 2 damage trigger and a 1 damage trigger. If I was on their side, I'd be attacking with this. I'd attack with both of these. You have to attack with that. And now on my side of the board, I think I'm supposed to block. Maybe not. I could do this to keep this tight, and then I take 2, and then next turn I get to play Battlement. I think I just eliminate the zombie here and keep my Battlement. That was a good one. That was a good one. So, next turn I can technically combo, but it doesn't accomplish anything. I can, like, start looping enters and leaves play triggers. Oh, yeah, I forget this thing has vigilance instead of what's it called? Trample instead of trample. I always forget, big creatures don't trample in Magic. 1/3 Dreadhorde Arcanist trample in Magic. It's hard to keep track of sometimes. Yeah, this deck got a lot of cards from M20. We were playing a bunch of different new stuff. Let's actually Discovery first here. Because if we can find an Agent of Treachery, we can get this Blood for Bones going next turn. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna need a replacement Fblthp for after we turn this guy into an offering. Oh. Oh, you made that? What if I made that? I think that's a really nice Rekindling Phoenix you have over there. Yeah, it's a really nice Rekindling Phoenix. Can I borrow it? Please? Please? Please borrow? Please borrow? Boop. Can I hold on to that one for a second? Gimme, 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 gimme. Alright, so Moment of Craving, Cast Down, Mortify. I don't know if I want Despark for just the Phoenix. Definitely Cerulean Drake. Oh, buddy old pal, that one sounds great. This is probably an Agent Blood for Bones out matchup. I know it was fine there, but it's probably not good in this matchup in general, right? My boy Fblthp's probably a little bit slow. Discovery's definitely slow. Here soon, I want to see what you think about a deck I made. It's just Kai Lockout Control. I'm not sure if you would play it online or not, but I want to send you a list to see what you think. If you want to just get my opinion on something without me playing it, you can always DM it to me, and I'll take a peek when I'm done streaming. Probably tomorrow at this point, because today's been a long day. You can also tag me in a post in the subs Discord server. If you're interested in having it played on stream and getting feedback while I play it and afterwards, you can submit it using the form on my website here. It's $10 for subscribers to submit decks, or 1,000 bits. Details on how the deck submission process works there can be found there. Several cages. I think that's probably nonsense. The decks that were all playing Elder Spell in their main deck were decks that had planeswalkers that they could ult quicker themselves by killing their other planeswalkers. So I don't think that comparison is quite as apt. I disagree with that assessment, Herbsman. Elder Spell is definitely a situational spell based on what people are playing. Like, if you're expecting to play against a field of, like, mono red, you don't put a bunch of Elder Spells in your deck. Let's kill this in response, so we only take 2. Playing this now is gonna gain me a ton of life. Let's just do that. They should still have cards in their hand next turn for me to Thought Erasure. Oh no! Why do you have cards in your deck that are good against mine? Yikes. Alright, well. Ooh. Yeah, I think I keep that, actually. It draws me towards the land when I play it, and it, like, gets rid of this useless Thought Erasure. Tomebound Lich trades with Judith here. If it lives, if it gets that far, because it does have Death Touch. And they'll be able to deal Judith Dice trigger to the Tomebound Lich. But they're mostly running out of gas at that point, so that'll still be a good exchange for us, I think. Wow, way to fry my chicken. Normally you want to play Hostage Taker and be able to cast the card right away. But it's going to take me a while before I can do that, and I think I want to just try and snake this here. We only have 1 card left, hopefully it's not a removal spell. Man, Gadangle, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Hope your weekend is treating you swell. Thanks for keeping me around. Now, I don't get to block this turn, because if I block, the trigger kills. The trigger kills my Hostage Taker, which is not ideal, so this gets a little bit bigger, which is scary, because, like, they're going to get to deal 4 next turn when this dies, but sweet. If we don't get burned out this turn, we should be in a pretty good spot. So they can deal 4, 5 to me. So if this card deals 4 damage, we could die here. If it doesn't deal 4 damage, I'm going to start looping Bell-Haunt with this Blood for Bones, which is great. Wow, that's great for me. Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb. They were targeting my Hostage Taker, so I should have targeted their Judith, because I was getting 2 triggers. I was so shocked they were killing my thing, I was like, that can't possibly. Grr, arg. Yep, pretty well stabilized at that point. Look at us. Look at us. We're actually winning games here. All aboard. How did we win if our opponent spent all that money? The only conclusion I can have is Reddit must have lied to me about Magic being pay to win. I'm pretty disappointed. This changes my whole outlook on the world. That the internet could potentially be lying to me as I read it. Gonna have to approach everything in a whole different light. We're winning because Rakdos is driving. That's probably true. Rakdos does drive a mean party bus. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, this is fine. Dunk. Basic Mountain. Super happy to have a Bell-Haunt in my opener. The way this deck is constructed, it's definitely a little bit weaker against red aggro than the party bus was the way it was constructed last season, but we also still have a number of good tools like main deck Bell-Haunt and stuff that are decent here. Looking for a black source here so we can play this on 4 ideally. Get a bunch of looks. It's gonna be a shock hitting upstairs. Perfect. Get to hit my black source and play and ditch an Agent of Treachery for this Blood for Bones. If we're a true professional, we'll draw a Thought Erasure or a Fblthp next turn. Are you mono red or are you green red? Black red again. Interesting. And we know it's a different black red player because look at that. Look at that. We're so good at this. We're so good at this. I'm gonna leave that there, even though I gotta scry it to the top again. Now the tough part here is that they're gonna hit me, this will go to a 3/3, and then they're gonna get to double burn spell this Bell-Haunt and like keep growing the Dreadhorde. That being said, eventually I'm gonna get to set up Blood for Bones to Agent of Treachery and take it, right? If they don't draw a threat this turn, we're still in a pretty reasonable spot. Alright, so this puts me back to 20. They'll ditch a swamp. Next turn, they'll attack me for 5, down to 15. I'll shock this into 13, play a Battlement. And we'll see what they do from there. So I assume this is going to eat these 2 cards this turn. How could someone cast down my 10th District Legionnaire? Yeah, 3 mana Teferi is usually. The answer to how did this weird thing happen is almost always 3 mana Teferi these days. Wow. Alright, so we're not blocking here because they have a shock. And now that they did this, this means I get to shock this in and put the Bell-Haunt under the bus. And like, now I have a 6/5. And if they kill, or a 6/7, if they manage to kill this 6/7, I like get a 3/4 back that gains me more life. And I get to do the blood for bones truffle shuffle next turn, just like do 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 do. How long does reviews of deck submissions take? I usually respond every night, especially during release weeks. Do I trade? Yeah, let's trade. So this trade's gonna eat this. It'll eat the 3 damage. It'll eat a shock. This will come into play. We'll go to 19. We'll take another card out of their hand. Bell-Haunt is so good. I might want a third Bell-Haunt in the 75. Just it's so good in these red matchups. He says as he draws another. Do the little Bell-Haunt. I was pretty fortunate there. There's only 2 Bell-Haunts in my deck, and we drew both of them. So I might change that. The fact that we have this Agent of Treachery main deck plan probably means that I don't need these Command the Dreadhordes in the sideboard anymore. Like, once upon a time, you needed this card to grind out, like, things like the mass manipulation decks and stuff like that, but this card just goes so far over the top of these other decks, I'm not sure that that's necessary anymore. It's okay. We've done a good job of drawing our cards that are relevant so far. That's definitely part of the battle. I think I'm gonna get another Bell-Haunt to the 75. I'm gonna adjust the sideboard after this match for sure. It's mono red, less prevalent, so we run less life gain. We don't have that much less life gain. Like, I've got a couple Moment of Cravings. I've got 2 Bell-Haunts and 3. And the other thing to keep in mind is the 1/3 that draws a card and discards a card. That thing has lifelink as well, so that's like a pseudo anti-aggro card. It dies to Lightning Strike, obviously, but if it gets going, it gets to give you a little bit of life. I think losing Hostage Taker will hurt this deck a lot. I think you just shouldn't worry about rotation until it happens. The fact that, like, people every season are, like, trying to build their rotation-proof decks is like, eh. Like, you can't really know what's going to be good or bad come rotation. So I'm actually going to ditch this Temple here, because if I play the Temple on 1, I have to shock to play a 2-drop on 2, and I don't want to shock to play a 2-drop on 2. Yeah, as we get deeper into the season, there's going to be more and more aggro. Because people will stop playing their cute whatever decks and to go back to playing the decks they know are good. Rotation happens in October. So every October, Magic rotates the 4 oldest sets. So when a 9th set would be introduced to Magic Standard format, the 4 oldest sets rotate and it goes back down to 5. This website, what'sinstandard.com, will allow you to easily check and see how standard rotation works and what's leaving when. That's a pretty good one. Really need a removal spell. Really don't need a 3rd Fblthp. Things we didn't need. Fblthp number 3. We'd love to find a Bell-Haunt or an Elite Guardmage next turn. Moment of Craving, Mortify, Cast Down, all also very reasonable. I'm going to go ahead and double block this Legion War Boss. If they have a burn spell, they can burn the Fblthp, but if they're spending a burn spell on the Fblthp, I think that's also kind of a win for me. Yeah, it feels like they're going to kill the Fblthp with a removal spell while slowly advancing their board. We get 2 draws next turn to a 2-mana removal spell, which is nice. Run! Hide! Ugh. Wow, that's brutal. Ooh, that's a Tomebound Lich. Shouldn't have played my land yet. I'm going to draw a tapped land or a shock land. Did not. God bless. All right. Hopefully they don't have another way to get through this Tomebound Lich. He's going to sit here and gain some life for us. And if they do have a way to get through it, I get to slam down Lumbering Battlement as a 4/5 next turn. But that's probably going to be too slow, honestly. If they kill this and attack with everything, even if I block the 1/1, if I block a 2/2, I take 7. If I block a 1/1, I take 8. And I think we're too far gone at that point. Really? Okay. I think we're dead. I think we're dead. Judith was real good there. This is going to get even bigger now. How do you see the list from Green Black? You can see all the previous lists by going directly to my Stream Decker page. I don't know what the URL is offhand. I think it Dex pulls it up. Yeah, that's the one. I think I'm happy with how I'm boarded for now. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna adjust our sideboard for these aggressive matchups. I feel like I know we're going to game 3 here on the play, and we won it last time, but I feel like we ran a little bit good in these matches. I don't think we're currently well set up for them as well as we could be. I only had 5 mana, Emo Fury, so I had 4 and I could play a 5th. So if I had 6, we could maybe hit Bell-Haunt and stay in it, but I think we're still pretty dead even with that. My lands are painful, but my spells are good. Buddy lands, buddy lands, buddy lands, buddy lands, buddy lands. This is good in the face of Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is nice. Alright. Dreadhorde Butcher. Wrong Dreadhorde. The hasty angry one. Aether Gods puts a red or green spell or permanent on top of or bottom of its owner's library as they choose. The Reanimator decks today we played good. The blue-black one was very reasonable, and the green-black one was okay, but I think it would be better suited as a green-black rock deck. The blue-black one's worth going back and watch. I might tag that as one of the favorites from today. So they get to choose whether or not they want to put this on the top or bottom of the library. Which, even if they put it on top of their deck here, this card is still a 1-for-1 because they have to redraw it next turn, which is nice. Plains is a fantastic draw. Just get to Bell-Haunt them here. And this is how we took game 1. I'm definitely going to put a 3rd Bell-Haunt in our 75. Sure. Elite Guardmage, you say? Yeah, probably. I need to take a look at the board. The Aether Gust has honestly been kind of mediocre too, but I might replace that with another Moment of Craving. Aether Gust has been fine. I've been more impressed with Cerulean Drake overall. Gust has been a little bit medium for me. It was fine there, but like it would have been better as a Moment of Craving there, most likely. Like it's basically like a 1-for-1. Moment of Craving is like a 2-for-1 basically because it gains us meaningful life. We might see them attack with everything here. Nope. No, if it was right last turn, I think it's still right. Land, perfect. Second blue source and 5th land means we get to double spell meaningfully next turn, which is nice. Maybe get to use these Thought Erasures before they become bricks. Tomebound Lich can sort through them if they do brick off, which is nice. If they have double removal spell here, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. That's brutal. I guess Fblthp gets to kill the Dreadhorde Butcher if they attack with it, but they're going to get to start triggering the Ebony Knight. So I'm taking 5 on this attack. And that starts growing up. Okay. I'm not looking for another land at this point. They probably forgot that they could mentor onto the Butcher. Been there, right? Like you just like in your head, this card does one thing, it mentors onto its own tokens, and then like you get into a situation like this where it's correct to not do that. It's easy to forget. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna block here, trade here. I'm gonna take 6, gain 1, so I'm gonna take 5 altogether. I assume the 1 point of damage from this is gonna finish off my Tomebound Lich here. Well, they could have attacked with the 2/2 and like turned it into a 3/3, which is definitely more valuable for them, right? Oh, they missed pumping this. That's good for me. Let's lead on this. I think I'm supposed to Mortify this turn. And honestly, might have been right to double Mortify this turn. That's pretty good. I guess that means my Thought Erasure might be live this turn. Woo-hoo! Oh, it's alive.
Did I scare you?
Yeah. Alright, let's get back Elite Guardmage. Then am I just getting back another Elite Guardmage? Probably. That seems reasonable. I'm going to gain 3 and draw a card. You know, maybe I wanted to draw that land, actually. That's a land that hurts me. Oh, it comes into play tap this turn. That's good. Hello, oldest son.
You wanted to scare Daddy, too.
How are you doing?
I give Mommy Daddy.
You get Mommy and Daddy.
And the Blood for Bones makes looping these 3 life creatures really reasonable. What's up, dude? What do you got?
I got ya.
You got a flower. It's now in my dirty food bowl.
Gross.
Whoa.
That's why I told you not to come down here. Look at.
And maybe I'm supposed to hold on to that land there, actually.
Go upstairs.
Okay.
Go upstairs.
Yeah.
He just wants to be involved.
Beep, 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 yeah.
He's saying please. Yes, you can be on the camera. You want to say hi? Say hi, internet.
Hi,
So,
Show them your flower.
I can mortify this, and then next turn, Spectacle, you may cast this for Spectacle cost for this mana cost, 3 point lost life this turn. And what does Hostage Shaker read? You may spend mana or mana of any type. So, I can spend this Mortify, and next turn I can hit them with the Elite Guardmage, and then take Rick's Maddie and Spectacle it to draw 3. And try and churn through my deck a little bit. The internet thinks your flower fan is very cool, Jake.
His spinner flower.
Not to brag, but I'm totally the best pyromancy student.
Oh, they get to flash back some spells here. You might see a Fry or a Lava Coil jump up and hit an Elite Guard Mage here. Yeah, setting a stop for War Boss sounds like a good plan.
God damn. I can't write it.
We got you, Cookies. We got you.
What did it say?
Damn it!
I'm gonna kill this. Corrosion, thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. My wife offered to go get dinner or go get food from somewhere, and then she offered to give me Taco Bell. That's not food.
That's really rude.
my
I love
wi-
Taco Bell.
I know. My wife has an unhealthy addiction to Taco Bell. Send help.
Taco Bell is delicious.
All right. I would love a draw 3. All right. I think we've locked it up. There could have been a little bit of close back and forth here for a hot second, but I think that locks it up.
What do you want?
What do we want for dinner, chat? She offered to go get me food so we can keep streaming because she's great.
Taco Bell. Taco Bell. Taco.
What about Portillo's?
It's right next to Taco Bell.
Sure. You can get you Taco Bell then.
Taco Bell.
Apparently
Taco Bell.
Qdoba has.
We don't have a Qdoba. Taco
We
Bell.
don't have a Qdoba, do we?
No, we had one that closed.
We had a Qdoba that closed
It was before we moved.
because Qdoba sucks.
Yes, the potato tacos.
Does Burger King have Impossible Burgers now? I'm losing track of who all is getting them where.
Everybody has them.
That's good. That's good. I can eat more places. All right, so I think I want another
Hey,
bell.
I cooked him food earlier.
That's true. That's true. She did make food from our kitchen. I think I want another Bell-Haunt. I might just want the other Bell-Haunt in the main, honestly. I wonder. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I'm paralyzed by choice. Portillo's. Let's say Portillo's.
Okay, but what do you want?
I
I can't just bring you the building.
I want the entire Portillo's. Don't you think she should carry Portillo's on her back? Just like put it on her back and bring it to me. I feel like that's not an unreasonable suggestion. What do we think?
What do you want?
I'll have a veggie croissant and fries, cheese fries. I love you, and a Coke.
Come on, Jake.
All right, so I think I want a Moment of Craving here. We got Despark, we got Mortify. So I added another Bell-Haunt. I'm gonna slide the 4th Blood for Bones into the sideboard because while this card's really good when it's grindy, we do want to cut it against the more aggressive decks. So I think I'd rather just board it in the mid-range matchups rather than cutting it. And I think I want like one more counterspell on the sideboard. Honestly, if this Hydra deck's gonna be popular, I kind of wouldn't mind having a pair of Strokes in here. How do we feel about a pair of Strokes in the sideboard? Seems pretty reasonable. I could maybe trim a Despark, although Despark's good at cleaning up Phoenix, but I also have agents now. Like, I feel like I need to reassess the whole sideboard of this deck. It's very close to what it was last season, but the fact that we have Treachery now kind of changes the dynamics of like what you really need over here. Maybe Stroke's just better than Negate in the face of. A lot of the things that I want to be countering are strokeable, and it covers Hydras too. Let's do that for now. Let's pop on into another match here, shall we? What's my text as a Planeswalker? I have no idea. Ain't nobody got any idea? Gosh. If we keep winning with this, should I play this in the fandom tournament on Thursday? The fandom tournament's kind of a free roll, and I don't have to leave my house to play it. So I'm kind of like, I kind of feel like I should play some weird stuff in it. We've been winning a lot with this. Is this the last deck of the day? No, I might do one more. Christy's going to get me like actual dinner, so I think we're gonna do another one. I didn't plan. I never plan to go as long as I do if the viewer numbers are good, because it's hard to tell when the numbers are gonna be good. I had 4-color elementals too. It was okay. I think it was a little bit too mid-rangey. It has a really hard time against the Steal Your Stuff decks. That was my feelings on it. Can I keep this in the dark? I feel like I can never keep this in the dark. YOLO. And I got a Scryland, chat. The Scryland will find us whatever we need. Haha! They're also playing a slow deck. God bless. Alright, don't need a second agent. I'm gonna put this into play tap, so that way if I draw Thought Erasure, I can cast it or another blue spell. Because if I play this is still a tap land, so I can't play a blue spell next turn if I draw it. Ooh, yikes.
And future are bound by threads. I have just the trick for this.
Planner Cleansing. Okay. I think I want to just hit all my land drops this game at this point. Just like curve out into casting this card. That's an interesting one. This card notably makes our... This is a card we would like negate against, maybe. But this card notably makes all of our copies of the 1/3 really bad. So we still have to discard, but we don't get to draw. I mean, the blue-green ramp elementals deck is basically the mass manipulation deck from last season, right? Volpert, or is it doing something else? Like, what's your top end? Just like that deck from last season with different things slotted in. Rude. Instant regret having bottomed this Agent of Treason. They probably don't have creatures in their deck, so I'm just gonna play this Hostage Shaker out so we can attack this. Because if we need to take this off the table, So that way, if we draw a, yikes. So like, how do you actually go over the top of people if you're not playing Mass Manipulation? Like, what's your end game? I have no idea how we win the game from here. And I'm gonna concede. This game's over. Yeah, I agree. We got 3 pieces of card advantage in their hand. And like, games like this make me really wish I was playing an aggressive, and that might be why I wouldn't play this on. Well, I really don't. I kind of jacked up my sideboard for this matchup. I guess Despark's good. I guess I bring in Stroke. I think I want to cut these Tomebound Liches. Discovery's pretty bad against our set. Let's do this. Hey, what's going on, Echoes? So many people just play these greedy decks that have no respect for aggro. Like, could you imagine if I was just an aggro deck that like had a 1-2-3 curve that game? My opponent like would have gotten run over and it wouldn't have been particularly close, right? No, I want Hostage Taker because sometimes they have creatures out of their sideboard, but more importantly, it enables my combo kills. Hey, Jones, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a great Saturday wherever you're at. Thanks for shipping that my way this month and keeping me around. Yep, you spent a removal spell on my card, the cantrip. God bless. At some point, we will draw a density of spells, I bet. Nice. Okay, just go ahead and battlement here. Because again, if they want to kill this, they're going to be giving me another card because this will come back into play. I have Despark to clear this out.
I won't hide from the world any longer.
Wow. Okay, so now I get to Despark this and then attack this for 1. Seems reasonable for me. Hey, thanks for watching, Emmanuel. Dunk.
Only time.
We've got a Stroke to cover their next big play. I might be wrong to not play the Temple there, but I know that Lumbering Battlement's on top of my deck and I want to redraw it, so. Rude. Stroke. Stroke gets worse if they know it's there. Alright, they're just taking it away. So I assume that means they're playing something else that is strokeable. Not super surprised to see them end up doing that. The fact that they took that off the table means that these buses get a bit worse because they won't have anything meaningful to put underneath them. So if they target these with removal, they'll just be 1-for-1s. I am well set on pack, Socio Penguin. I appreciate the offer though.
Stand by and watch. Here we
I have a nice full set. Yikes. Yikes!
Don't worry, I got this.
Scale of 1 to dead. Where's my battlement dead here? Dead side of the scale, got it. So hoping to draw like one of my creatures that draws a card.
Sorry I'm late.
I assume this is sending the cow back to my hand.
I'll protect you.
Pull a Blood for Bones up there for folks. 5 mana Teferi probably means this is done. Although I mean like
No time for a
we're
break.
there's like an Agent of Treachery away from like taking this game over. I'm gonna keep going. There's 4 Agent of Treacheries in my deck. Like, if I hit that and snake their Planeswalker, we have like a very real shot. They get like 2 draws this turn, but I can use Blood for Bones to turn this into a card that draws a card and then pick it back up even and then replay it so it draws a card again later while getting larger.
Let's try this.
Is he dead, Jim? Have you killed him? We're thinking about tucking this in. Alright, 10% of my deck is Agent of Treacheries now, so we're 1 in. 1 in 10 to draw 1 every turn. And if we draw 1, we get a thing, and we get this thing.
I train at home.
Come on, brick on removal. Brick, 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 brick.
You'll thank me later.
All right, we're not playing this on. That's about all I needed. and that's why it's so, like, I have such a big focus. I can't stress enough, just, like, don't get your hopes up after playing even, like, half a dozen or a dozen matches. Because, like, you randomly run into, like, there's just so many people playing random brews. And then, like, you run into the person playing the stock good tier 1 deck from last season that with a few small upgrades. You're like, oh, right. This is why all my brews were miserable last season. And we were barely playing standard at the end. Like, once the soul-crushing weight of Wilderness Reclamation and Esper mid-range and control settle back over the format on the back of 3 mana Teferi, it's like... I think I'm happy with the changes that we made in terms of... the aggro matchup changes. That second game there against Esper, I don't know if there's a whole lot we could do without seeing an Agent of Treachery in the top third of our deck. I do think this card helps make that matchup a little bit better, but it's definitely still going to be very swingy because that's just how the mid-range matchups in this format go. They're filled with cards like Mass Manipulation and Command the Dreadhorde, where these incremental advantage decks sometimes are going to take a big swing back in the other direction, and it's going to be tough. It's going to feel really bad, even if the matchup's not that bad. All right, do I want to do one more? I ain't going for 10 hours. Maybe I will be done. Esper kind of takes the wind out of the sails. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'll be back on Monday morning with we're gonna do a couple of Magic Online leagues to start the day, and we'll do some Arena in the afternoon. We're gonna do a couple of standard leagues, and then we're gonna roll into doing some draft with MTG Nerd Girl, and then Tuesday and Thursday next week, I'm going to be starting doing Underlords every morning. So if you're not a fan of Magic Online, but you're into Underlords, you'd like to learn a little bit about that, every Tuesday and Thursday morning moving forward, I'm going to be doing a few hours of Underlords in the morning. If you're a sub, we're going to be doing some sub games in that time segment, so be sure to... I think it's easier or harder to climb at the beginning or end of the set. Depends on what type of player you are. All right, who's on? Flesh Eating Gnome is a sub on the channel, and they played in the last Mythic Championship. They qualified via Arena. So let's go ahead and send you over his way.